What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back with another video, and today I am happy to present you with the second ever fan mock results. So we did 4 rounds in 2 hours. So to everybody who showed up, I want to thank you guys so much. And if you guys don't like any of these picks, I'm going to repeat this throughout the entire draft. It's your fault for not being there. So if you guys want to join, Discord's in the description. You guys can always go there. We have a huge booming community. We have over 90 people closing in on 100. So let's keep growing the community, man. Then always tell me. You guys will find out from what to do if you guys want to join the mock from there, because we should be possibly having one more right before the draft, and this next one might include some trades. So I definitely want the people who know the most and will actually be there to be there. So I want you to go down in the description and join the Discord. We need this community to be booming. Of course, if you guys are new, hit a like, comment, subscribe. You know what the fuck to do. So let's start off with the number 1 pick. And again, these are not all picks. Well, most of them are the picks that I didn't do. Some of you guys didn't show up, so I had to make a couple picks. But for the most part, this is all you're doing. So if you guys messed up, again, your fault. Number 1, the Jags selected Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this is a pretty obvious one. You know, obviously, like we were just like, dude, do we even need to talk about this one? No, but he's a stud. Last time the Jags were up in the top 2 because they've never had the number 1 pick. They selected Hall of Fame Tony Baselli, if I'm not mistaken. So they have pretty good track record being at the top of the draft, which of course is not a very large resume, but they at least have a pretty good one right now. The Jets, they of course are going to be selecting Zach Wilson. So obviously the idea that the Eagles are not going to be moving up to 3 because they felt Zach Wilson wouldn't be there, that kind of ensures that Zach Wilson's at 2. And I assume the Niners would have moved up to 2 if they could have gotten that big enough of a package. They traded away pretty much their entire future. So, I'm pretty sure this is a locked pick with the Jets, unless the Panthers are trying to make some monster trade, or, of course, the Texans. So I know that the Jets are probably going to try to use that as major draft capital right there. And now, I mean, for a team like the Panthers, it's 2 or nothing. That sounds like it's an order for nothing, because I don't think the Falcons are going to trade out and potentially give a future franchise quarterback to a rival team in their own division. Number 3, you guys selected Justin Fields out of Ohio State. Still a big fan of this. And people are starting to think that Trey Lance is better than Justin Fields. I'm a little bit confused as to why. The only thing he really has above Justin is he has a little bit more power to his run game. He's a little bit better with it. But of course, I mean, you're a quarterback. In a Shanahan scheme, you can run and pass. And I think Justin Fields is a better, more accurate passer. And then Trey Lance can process a bit better. Again, when sitting a full year, you can learn to process a bit better as well. I think Justin Fields is, I mean, we were talking about him 1A and 1B. The future, like the scouts who like know what the heck's going on, who predict what will happen in the future, we're saying Justin Fields was almost as good, if not better, than Trevor Lawrence. Again, like put his 2 worst games up against Trey Lance, pretty much almost lay an egg against University of Central Arkansas. And it's like, come on, dude. People would say, like, what if Trey Lance had the talent? I mean, Trey Lance had a pretty good team compared to Ohio State versus who Ohio State plays. Trey Lance and North Dakota State versus like even University of Central Arkansas, they had a big talent advantage in my opinion. So that I don't really get why people love Trey Lance over Justin Fields that much. I mean, I can understand why some people think he's a better fit, but I mean, there's even accuracy concerns. That just doesn't seem. It seems like a lot of the NFL is high on him. They believe that he could be a number 1 pick in another draft, but still, just like let's halt the horses. Let's hold the reins a little bit. But number 4, again, there's no trades in this, but we're going to be introducing it next time. So I want people to know what the heck's going on to try to make some good trades here. So number 4, we had the Falcons selecting Kyle Pitts. I'm fully supportive of this one, as you guys know. I did a trade back and a trade up with the Falcons last draft, so perfectly fine with going Kyle Pitts there and pretty much bolstering their roster. Because again, I don't think that you want to sign a quarterback or bring one on like Trey Lance and have him sitting for 2 years, or have him start after 1 year and then have like a 40 mil dead cap. Like, it's like, why would you want to have like a 40 mil dud sitting on your bench? So I think honestly, just get a generational talent. I think guys like Trey Lance can come around again. He's pretty much a better version of Jordan Love. He's a better runner in just a better version, more careful Jordan Love, which is it's wonderful. It's why he deserves to be in this top 10, top 5 but I think we need to halt the horses a little bit on saying that he is a generational talent, because we see quarterbacks that come out every single year where we'll say they're generational talents. Kyle Pitts, I haven't heard of a talent like Kyle Pitts in the years that I've been studying the NFL. So a big fan of Kyle Pitts right there. Very versatile weapon. Also, Julio Jones, 32, Calvin Ridley, 28, trying to get the bag. There's definitely some need to get some youth in that wide receiver core. Next, you guys were debating between Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell here, but I'm very happy that you guys selected Penei Sewell. Honestly, Jonathan Ogden, who I said Penei Sewell's a little bit more choppy, he's not as smooth, and then he's also a bit more athletic. I think that Penei Sewell can start out as a guard just like Ogden and then transition to tackle. And then he'll be really good as an understudy to Riley Reif, and then an immediate fill for Michael Jordan. I honestly think that that's the best fit, arguably, in the draft. I wouldn't mind if the Bengals even moved up one spot to take Penei Sewell. I love Penei Sewell, though. That's my thing. I did a full tape study on him. Of course, if you guys want to see my new tape studies and stuff, of course, follow me on Twitter. Links are in the description. Do all that jazz. Of course, Manscaped 20% off and free shipping on whatever you want. And that code doesn't apply for too long because that will be expiring in a couple of days. So get it while you can. Number 6, the Dolphins. You guys are on the clock, and you guys pulled the Jamar Chase route. So you guys are following my draft philosophy so far if I didn't have any trades. Jamar, again, it's hard for me. I think that this 4th pick will be traded out of, and then we'll be able to get Jamar or Kyle. The more I think about it, honestly, if I'm at 6, as much as Jamar would fit my offense and he's a great, amazing wide receiver talent, I don't see Kyle Pitts coming around all the time. We see like a pretty much maybe a little bit worse version of Jamar and like CD Lamb come around. I don't see Kyle Pitts come around too often. So I'd rather take the generational talent there. You guys were correct on calling me out on that, and feel free to call me out on it. So number 7, we got the Detroit Lions on the board, and you guys pulled an interesting one here. You guys pulled Patrick Surtain. So I mean, obviously he's a really good corner, and I mean, he fits the scheme pretty damn well. I would just only push back and say there's a lot bigger needs. Slot corner is even a bigger need than a boundary corner for you guys. But again, I mean, I can't really complain about the talent. He's an excellent, excellent cornerback. So I'm a little bit worried about him getting burned on tape multiple times. But again, honestly, I think that in the NFL, he'll learn better technique. I feel like Trevon Diggs and Surtain both ran really well in the 40s and just played a lot slower. So I hope that Surtain can speed it up, because he is by far one of the best, if not the best, corner in the draft class. And I love him to death. Number 8, the Panthers. You guys, I don't get this one too much. You guys went Rashawn Slater over Trey Lance. So that one was a big head scratcher for me. I mean, even at number 7, I would have thought about going Trey Lance there. Honestly, I would have put Rashawn Slater here and then Trey Lance at this spot. But I mean, at that point, it's like, oh, well, why not just take a shot on Trey Lance? It was a bit of a head scratcher for me, and I love Rashawn Slater. Don't get me wrong, I love him. From what I saw, I love him. By the way, guys, breaking news: Jalen Phillips just ran a 4.46. Okay, wow. I'm recording this as the Miami Pro Day is going on. That's just crazy. I didn't really get that pick. With Trey Lance on the board, that really was a big head scratcher. This one was less of a head scratcher, but still was like, why not just take a shot? You guys went Micah Parsons to the Broncos, which again, you know me, Vic Fangio, Micah Parsons. I mean, book it. I mean, I'd be a huge fan of that. But again, now it's getting to the unrealistic point, because I don't think Trey Lance is going to be falling. He's probably going to be gone. He's for sure gone by 8. That's the unfortunate thing, is that he's actually for sure gone by 8. At number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. We got, of course, the Camel Wolf influence here. And of course, it's not a Camel Wolf influence. I do this as well. J.C. Horn, South Carolina. You guys do need a boundary corner desperately. I think that you guys brought back Jordan Lewis, and now you have Jordan Lewis and Trevon Diggs on the outside. But I mean, it didn't work last year, right? So I don't think that holding off on J.C. Horn is that big of a priority, especially if you don't have talent right there like a Micah Parsons who could run a 4.39, which is ridiculous. At number 11, the Giants. You guys are going to be rocking. I think you guys rocked Jalen Waddle, right? Yes, you guys selected Jalen Waddle out of Bama. That's another spot. Honestly, I'd take Trey Lance. I'm gonna be honest. I know you guys want to test out Danny Dimes, but we haven't really seen too much from him. So at that point, your wide receiver core is built. Your defense is pretty solid. I just take a shot. I mean, dude, you're at 11. It's like, when are we going to be able to select a guy who could be a number one pick in another draft at 11? So I would pick that. Another time where I'd pick for the Eagles, I'd pick Trey Lance. You guys went Devontae Smith, which again, you guys know me. I'm a fan of Devontae Smith at that spot. He definitely is scarily too light, but that's probably why he's not going to be going top 10. So I'm a fan of where Devontae Smith fell. Next, we got the Chargers, and I'm very happy you guys did this one. Christian Darrisaw, who I believe on PFF's board he fell to like 17 or something, but I mean, they can think whatever the hell they want. Christian Darrisaw is an excellent young tackle. Don't think he's generational, but he's definitely a really, really talented player who has a lot to grow too. He has a lot of experience, but he has a lot to grow. And that's a very, very good sign to me. He's definitely somebody I would be very intrigued in. And the Vikings, you're bringing the Minnesota guy back to Minnesota. So Trey Lance, there you go. I mean, there's no way in hell. Obviously, trades could happen. I think that in our mock draft that will be coming up, possibly right before the draft, we're going to see the Patriots move up with a quarterback. And we're going to see a monster trade right there. But I can see Trey Lance fitting perfectly into the Patriots scheme. People would think that Mac Jones or Jimmy G is what the Patriots want. It's like, dude, you can see their offense. Like, they're trying to work in a certain way, and they're trying to bring back Cam. It's like, and come on, guys. They could have tried to bring back even like Andy Dalton or some of these other guys who are better pocket passers. They decided to bring back Cam Newton for the upside, and there's a reason for it. Patriots, you guys decided to pass on Mac. You decided to go Rashad Bateman. I'm not a fan. I am a fan of this pick. Like, I'm not against this pick whatsoever. I think, honestly, it's a little bit unrealistic for the Patriots to go wide receiver given their history at drafting wide receiver in the first. But honestly, Rashad Bateman's a really good talent. You're getting just basically a high floor player that probably won't bust out. So, I mean, at least you win one, right? And for the Cardinals, this one is Caleb Farley. He's a really good player, right? But my sources in the NFL say Greg Newsome's going first. So, it's just these two back surgeries and ACL surgery during college. It's a bad issue, guys. You gotta worry about that. And he's an excellent talent, but sometimes you just gotta be like, it might not be it, dude. You might not be right at that spot to get a guy like Caleb Farley. So, I mean, the best ability is availability, right? Next pick, we got the Raiders. You guys went Tevin Jenkins, so I fully support this pick. You guys actually, for the most part in this draft, you guys actually drafted pretty damn well. So the more people we get in here who know the draft, who want to draft for their team, the better these drafts are going to be. So the more you hate these drafts, the more it's your fault. Next, we got the Dolphins, and you guys selected AVT. This is one I totally push back against. I mean, you guys have guard pretty well filled out. You can push in Robert Hunt to guard. You can obviously have Solomon Kinley at guard. You have Eric Flowers, I believe. There's plenty of guys who can play guard for you and play it pretty damn well. Tackle spot is where you probably want to. I mean, you can move Austin Jackson to right tackle because I don't think he's going to be a marquee player in this offense. But again, this is where I would look at a guy like, honestly, I wouldn't mind if you guys went after Cosme and put him at left tackle. He's going to be a star at left tackle because he just does everything pretty well. And then you can move, of course, you can always move Austin Jackson to right tackle, then move in Robert Hunt to where he should be at guard. But, it is what it is. At 19, Washington, you guys pulled the one where this is why I continue emphasizing, if you don't like it, join the Discord and join the mock. Samuel Cosme out of Texas. Definitely did not agree with this pick because you got two tackles at 29 years old. You got an entire fully built offensive line. You got to get a quarterback. I mean, dude, Mac Jones is on the board. I understand that you guys are like, oh, well, it's fine. Like, we have Fitzmagic, we have Kyle Allen, we have Taylor Heineke. Okay. Which one's going to start for you in like 3 years, huh? Nobody. Mac Jones could. He's definitely going to be that guy who, I mean, your success story was Mr. Checkdown. So don't really get why you guys went Samuel Cosme there, especially when Mac Jones is on the board. And the Bears, Mac Jones is the easy answer. You guys went Greg Newsome. And I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Because Greg Newsome's a really good talent, and it's a very underrated, desperate need for the Bears to get a number one corner, especially with Jalen Johnson being there, being your solid number two. But Max Jones is on the board. That's what I'm going to continue emphasizing. In a realistic draft, I mean, he is definitely gone by this point. So next, we're going to see what you guys did for the Colts. This one was another shocker to me, but you guys skipped out on my boy Eichenberg. Mayfield, you guys went Dylan Radunes out of North Dakota State. Just checking to make sure that's right. Definitely a seasoned left tackle. Could be this pick as well with a guy from North Dakota State and Carson Wentz, right? So don't mind it. Really don't mind it. It's just a little bit of a surprise when you have two guys who will probably be scheduled to go ahead, just making sure that the computer doesn't die on me because, you know, your boy has to consolidate with some Mac problems. With the next pick, unfortunately, we didn't have a GM for this one that showed up. So for the Titans, I had to rock this pick, and I wanted to make it a little bit different than most picks, right? We could have went a corner there, could have had a run on corners. Didn't really like any of the corners. Could have went wide receiver, and that's exactly what we did. Could have went a tackle there too, but I went Elijah Moore. With the way that he's been testing and the instant chemistry with A.J. Brown, the fact that, honestly, the entire receiving corps for the Titans have been pretty unraveled apart from A.J. Brown, you got to get something there. And that's going to immediately replace the Adam Humphries role, and that's going to be really, really crucial for being able to develop this team a bit more. And trust me, Elijah Moore is amazing. He's a really, really good wide receiver. I have, I believe, an early second on him. He's a really good gadget weapon, man, and he can run after the catch really well. He basically does it all. I think his route tree is a little bit underdeveloped, but for the role that he's going to play in this offense, he's perfect. He's literally a perfect fit. He's worth their first-round pick by far. The next pick, we got the Jets. And where'd you guys rock? You guys rocked Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. Big fan of it. Big fan of that pick. You guys probably could use a linebacker. You guys went after Jared Davis after all. You guys need a slot. And then you guys could use a safety in the future. He fits all those roles. So I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that pick. The Steelers are sitting on the board, and, you know, we need a lot of things, but Mac Jones is there. And honestly, if he falls, I'm pretty happy with the Steelers taking Mac Jones. I don't like Mac Jones. I have a late first on him, but the Steelers kind of need a future. And if Mac Jones actually falls this far, again, he won't, then cool. I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with that pick. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys went Trevon Merrick, and I'm perfectly fine with this. He's an excellent, excellent safety. So, you know, you guys definitely need a safety in there. You guys got one. And then now he's going to be with Rashawn Jenkins there, and that's going to be a pretty nice safety duo. I'm pretty happy about that. With the Browns, you guys selected Gregory Russo out of Miami, and he's gonna fall a bit because he only had a 30-inch vertical, which is, people might say that's like not that, like, it's not that impressive, or it's not that bad. It's pretty bad when you're 6'6", had an entire year off to be athletically ready, and you're getting out jumped by Quincy Roche, who is not nearly as athletically gifted as a monster like Gregory Russo. Jalen Phillips also had a better vert. You know, we've seen a lot of better verts from like Kwity Paye. I think Jason Owe as well. Most of these guys have had better verts. And vertical is usually pretty much just your first step explosiveness. And that's a little bit worrisome. So we actually might see Greg fall out of the first. That's just something that could happen. Next, we got the Ravens. And you guys decided to go against the first round curve. The first round, I guess I can call it the first round curve. You're going against the curveball, and you're going to say, you know what, the Ravens, you guys don't usually draft in the first round for edge, but you lost a couple guys, and I think that we're going to go Azeez Ojulari here, and he's going to probably replace Matt Judon's role, and I'm fine with it. He's a really good talent, man. He's young as well, so he's going to be able to develop on this team, and it's the Ravens, dude. I don't want to face these guys every single year, and now they bring on Azeez Ojulari, and I'm just a little bit even more afraid. So his next pick, we got the Saints, and, well, you guys rocked Eric Stokes. So you guys have a man scheme, but I know you guys desperately need a corner. I honestly would have rocked Asante Samuel Jr. there. He ran in like I believe the 4.45 range, And that's good enough for me. He has a really good mentality, and I think teams are going to like him. I think TDN's a little bit too low on Asante Samuel, and he's going to fit a man scheme, which is more of what the Saints run, especially given that they have Ohio State corners there. It's just, I mean, Eric Stokes is going to be fine. He ran in the 4.2s apparently. PFF says 4.35. I assume that they had a typo because I've seen 4.2s everywhere else. But even if he was 4.35, that's really, really good, especially for a guy who has the numbers just to back up the type of production that his athleticism suggests he can do. The Packers, at your next pick, you guys said, give me Zaven Collins all day, every day if he falls. I'm fine with it. Honestly, I'm pretty damn fine with it. You guys desperately need linebacker help. I would just have a slight pushback in saying, like, A, you still have guys like Asante Samuel on the board, but B, there is guys like Jalen Mayfield who can play your right tackle spot at a very high level. It's just, I mean, it's a good pick. You're picking between two really good options, and or maybe three really good options, and honestly, that's pretty damn nice. At this next spot, the Bills, we're seeing Kwity Paye fall, which from his testing numbers, I don't believe that's actually going to be the case. But Kwity Paye's the guy. So, I mean, I love Kwity, big fan of Kwity. So if he goes to Buffalo, oh my god, I'd be so happy. He's amazing. So to see him on a team that'll actually have success, that's my dream. The next pick, this was one where the Chiefs people just ran right to the podium. It was Liam Eichenberg. Big fan of that. Big fan of that pick. I think he can start day one. I think he's worth the 20th overall pick. If you really want to get him, I think he could be worth a top 15 pick. Just given his age, I wouldn't get him any higher than that, but he's a really talented dude. I think that he's one of the best, one of the smoothest, one of the best day one tackles in this draft. Might not have the highest ceiling, but man, he is ready to play now. And the Bucks, you guys are sitting there, and you guys, what did you guys select? You guys selected, this was the curveball. This is the one where I didn't ever expect this one coming. Elijah Molden. I was a little bit surprised by this one. Their logic was if you want to continue staying relevant and being in championship contention, you have to have a deep secondary because guys will get injured. I understand that, and I don't honestly go against it. I just think that maybe getting a Sean Wade in round 2 or round 3, maybe a Keith Taylor round 2, round 3, even round 3 get Trill Williams. Like guys like that might have been a better fit than a round 1 pick, especially with some dudes on the board like Christian Barmore and stuff. But I mean, can I disagree with the results of getting one of my top 20, top 30 players? No. So really weird one, but honestly, at least you get some good talent. At least it wasn't a stupid pick by any stretch of the imagination. He's an excellent player, but there are guys on the board who I probably would have taken above that. But that's the first round, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for round 2 coming tomorrow, and then we might do a 3 and 4 combo the day after that. So definitely keep your eyes peeled and then keep your notifications on because it's going to be coming every single day. I hope you guys do enjoy. Again, join that Discord and join the community. Hit the sub button. See you on the far side. Peace.